Hey guys, welcome to Pirate Podcast.
Hey.
With those poppin' peas.
How about them popping peas?
I'm Wes, and
I'm Eric.
As always, Eric and Mick in the studio.
Hey,
Mick, you had a good story you wanted to tell to us today.
I do, but you've got me distracted with your popping peas talk. I just want to pop my peas everywhere. Yeah, okay. I was late today getting here. About 30 minutes late, I'd say. Real damper to my day, but let me tell you why. You want to guess why? Do you have any guesses why I was late today?
Not a clue.
Crossing guard.
No.
Don't stop. We'll get to that later.
No, I'm not in the second grade. I don't have crossing guard issues anymore.
Right.
But I'm a driving man now. Drive myself here.
It's a big boy.
And garbage man. It's Wednesday, or it was Wednesday when this happened.
Yeah.
Garbage man decides to park his car right in the middle of the road, and instead of what I think would be the smart thing to do, take the garbage truck, bring it into the parking lot, unload there, everyone gets on with their day.
That makes perfect sense.
Right?
Yeah.
As like you think it would.
Yeah.
This man decides to just pull up right in the middle of the road, and it's like a one-way road, by the way. There's like the other side of the road is all parked cars. So there's literally just enough space for a garbage truck to fit
And where
through.
he's talking about this is in Waterloo, so we can all picture those streets. They're not very wide.
No.
Yeah.
So he parks, and he has his guy that's like standing on the back, the garbage man. He gets out, and he wheels this like 1-ton dumpster into the road, and then they like lift it up in there. Like that's got to be the least efficient. I sat beside or behind.
Paid by
rather.
the hour, right?
I sat behind this garbage dude for a good part of a half an hour. And this is about 25 feet out of my parking garage for my building.
Wow.
So I
Was there room for the truck to get up to the dumpster where it was? Or
there's a full parking lot, or an empty parking lot, a parking lot full of space.
okay, so we've established that this guy is he's getting paid by the hour, and he's
Right.
definitely exploiting that.
Right.
City of Kitchener, watch out.
And you know when I realized I was fucked? Because I
What?
pulled in behind him, and the dumpster's unloading, and I'm like, okay, shit. He moves the dumpster back into the parking lot and grabs a second one, brings it out, doing 2 trips, and a car pulls up right behind me. And so I'm jammed in behind this garbage truck, and yeah, I don't know. It's just, so now I'm conflicted. Every day I leave, every Wednesday when I leave early in the morning, because I got to get here at 8 o'clock, to the very left is construction, so that's all closed down because they're building another building right beside mine.
Wait.
Buildings being built?
Construction in Waterloo. Really?
Yeah,
That's
unheard of.
Unheard of.
Unprecedented.
Yeah.
And then immediately to the right is the retarded garbage man who doesn't know what he's doing.
Wait, let's watch the art here.
Okay, sorry. Did I say what? The relish, the radish. I don't know.
Relish is green, like the garbage truck. Okay, carry on, Mick.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Did you have one of those moments though, like where did you make eye contact with the guy during any of this? Like, did you lock eyes with him? And
Did
he
he
was
give you
just
that look? It's like,
just
I'm
doing
gonna
his
make your
job?
morning
Yeah,
hell.
he's the kind of guy that you can tell has been doing the garbage life for like 30 plus years,
Just
and at
had
this
a-
point,
Oh, so
just
he's
had such
definitely
a
like
garbage life.
40s, 50s. He's a middle-aged man.
yeah, and he's got his little apprentice on the back, hopping off, grabbing the dumpsters for him.
He's definitely an angry man.
Yeah, he's like the Yoda of the garbage world, just driving around.
Just sending everybody else off
Yeah.
the back.
Yeah, and he didn't give a fuck. I looked at him right in the eyes. I looked at him right dead in the eyes. He didn't give a fuck. He knew what he was doing. He knew exactly. I think he woke up that morning and he said, "You know what? I'm gonna be a fucking asshole today. I'm gonna block that goddamn street for that guy."
And he knew it was just you every Wednesday. He's gonna wait. He knows when you have to schedule. Very schedule orientated. He's gonna be waiting. Oh, he's gonna leave out this time. I'm gonna park my fucking truck right in front of your car.
Exactly.
One of
Why
these
not?
times he's gonna be eating his breakfast. You know it. He's gonna be sitting out there. He's not even gonna be taking the garbage. It's gonna be parked. He's just gonna be sitting there eating
The
breakfast.
sandwich.
He's gonna give you a nod, and he's just not gonna move.
Eventually, he's just gonna pull the truck right up to the exit of my garage, so I can't leave. He's just gonna, need any garbage? Take it out.
Ask him for a ride from now on. Just
He's
hop on
probably a
back
great
with the,
guy.
Yeah, I should just hop on the back.
That's
Yeah.
the new Uber.
The new
I don't think a taxi will mess with a garbage
smelly
truck.
but efficient. On time more than the buses.
Hey, would you pay?
To ride in a garbage truck
ride
in the
in a
back?
gar-
Yes.
Let's say there was a garbage truck on every block. At any minute, you were like, 5 minutes away from a garbage truck being
Yeah.
at your front door.
Sounds like gonna be a smelly city.
So
like
you have
Hamilton.
so you got to ride in the back in the trash, but it's like a third of the cost of a cab.
I feel like you're explaining public buses. You're just that is any city bus you get on. You're literally just describing
But who takes those?
what
Like,
we've
let's be
all been
serious.
through.
I didn't realize. I was describing a thing that exists. That's a real thing.
That is a real thing. That's funny. We should bring that up next debate that comes up. We should try to get that as one of the new issues that. Like get more garbage men who aren't going to be
Because we're
dicks about
basically
it.
already doing it anyways with the buses and the
Yeah,
subways.
Well, it's going to be difficult because they already cut down the amount of garbage pickups. They they laid people off.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
I
this
didn't
is
know
a couple months ago. I'm from this area,
Mm.
so I'm keeping up to date. Yeah, they changed it from weekly to bi-weekly. It's supposed to be garbage pickup.
wow.
A lot of people aren't happy about that.
Just
But
garbage in the streets.
yeah, so with that, they laid people off. They don't need as many people per
Yeah.
week.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
just kept all the angry bastards.
my experience with garbage around here has been throwing everything into a bag and putting it down the chute down the end of my hall, and that's as
That's
far
true.
as
When you live in an apartment building.
Yeah.
like
You
that,
lazy
So
son of a bitch.
You think I'm gonna walk down all the floors and get down
Hey,
to the dumpster?
garbage chutes were made for a reason, and surprisingly, they're not for us to jump and slide down as a slide.
You won't fit. I used to paint in apartment buildings. They're like a mail slot. They're a little bit bigger.
Oh man, I've always
There's
had
no
that
way
dream.
anyone could fit down. I've thought about it. I've
Yeah.
actually attempted to climb into it.
That would be my biggest
That's for another
fear.
day. But
Why would you try to climb into a garbage chute?
I wanted to see if you could fit. Like our movie is lying to me. Like,
Yeah.
I
That's
had to
fact.
know.
That sounds totally reasonable.
Best
It's the
case-
Star Wars scenario. You jump in, you slide down.
And who
It's
doesn't
all-
want to be Han Solo?
Exactly. It's
He has
all
freaking Chewbacca,
it's all
and he's
fun.
banging Princess Leia. He's banging his best friend's sister.
yeah,
You know
but,
how awesome that you can rub it in his face?
yeah,
I
but
guess,
now he's
like-
all old and senile and crashing planes and stuff. And
But it's
breaking
Harrison
his
fucking
leg.
Ford. He can do what he wants.
breaking his leg on the first day.
He was
of
Han
shooting.
Solo, Indianapolis Jones. Shout out to Trailer Park Boys, Jim Ray, Indianapolis Jones. Yeah, he was Indiana Jones, and he didn't shoot his wife. Let's not forget that. Tommy Lee Jones doesn't give a fuck, but he did not kill his wife.
That's true.
all right, well, let's just think about jumping into a garbage chute for a second, because I want to revisit that. All right?
You can't get over it.
Best case scenario,
You break your neck.
you plummet 13 stories, however high up you are, into garbage.
Well, starting on what floor? Wouldn't it be like the first floor and like the garbage just be in the basement? You could
You
just
could
go
do
from the
that.
first floor. It wouldn't be very far.
No, that's a lame story.
That's true. If you're
I
gonna
just-
do it, you should do it big, right?
You might as well
Like,
go to the parking lot and jump in the dumpster.
So
yeah.
then we should establish what's the highest floor that's safe that you can jump down without paralyzing yourself.
Like
That's true. And
third.
is the chute straight?
Do you
Or
go down?
are
Do you
there
go down
bends?
head first or
No.
feet first?
No, actually, the chute in my building it's straight all the way down to the main floor, and then it branches off into three.
So right
thing.
there, you're dying before you even hit garbage.
Yeah,
That's
you're
just gonna
gonna come
rip
out
you
like
apart
Swiss
at the
cheese.
seam.
You're gonna do the You're gonna do the splits, and you're gonna go to 2 different garbage cans.
One
and you'll
testicle
never-
each way.
You'll never be seen again.
Yeah, your whole entire left side will go into the garbage.
Yeah.
The right side will go into the recycling. And
But if your left side's gone, you don't have to worry about a heart attack later in life. It's
Yeah,
not there to
there you
fuck.
go.
hopefully my balls
Yeah.
fall into the delicates. Yeah. So that's garbage. That's our
never-
talk on garbage for today. Eric,
I have so much more to talk about. We didn't establish. Do you go down head first or feet first down the
oh,
chute?
very good point.
I feel like either way, like if you go feet
Head first is gonna be more fun, but feet first I feel is a lot safer.
So let's establish the scene though. If
Fourth floor,
if
what
the
are you going
chute-
down?
If the chute was straight and you were just gonna hit garbage, that's the first thing you're hitting when you get down there.
how big and how much garbage is in there?
That's true.
How big's
And
the
also, head first, you're probably dying.
Absolutely.
Feet first, you're gonna break
Depends
legs.
what floor and what's in the what's in the dumpster.
Also, it depends on how small the chute is, because if you're going head first, but you're like barely fitting in the chute, you're just gonna slide down like a piece of bologna on a
like
glass window.
when I try to fit in the slide at parks and it's like not that slippery. It's
I'm
just
not allowed at parks anymore.
Yeah.
you just slide down, squeaky.
And like the third time the firefighters come and have to
After I have to
climb
grease
you
you
out.
up in the jaws of life, you are not allowed anywhere near there ever.
yeah.
you have to cut you out of a slide.
So let's say I'd say probably third to fourth floor is probably the safest limit you could do it.
Right.
live
Okay. Well,
in.
I'm on the 5th floor of my building, so
that'd
that'd
be pushing it. You might be able
So I
to,
feel like-
but definitely feet
yeah,
first there.
I feel like you don't have a guarantee,
Unless-
but it's like
How many
let's-
drinks have you had? Are we sober? Are we doing this? Are we intoxicated? If I'm intoxicated, I'm going fucking head first.
Okay.
I'm enjoying every
I
second
feel like
of it.
is anybody doing this sober? That's maybe the jackass guys.
Well,
but-
don't judge.
Oh.
I might. It sounds like fun.
I apologize.
What the hell did you eat for breakfast today?
Mick burping into the mic.
I try to avoid it, but it's everywhere.
Well, he was busy gobbling cocks on his way over. That's why he was late. It wasn't a garbage man. It wasn't. I went there.
Uh-oh.
Moving along. So
I told you penises would come up. It just wasn't Howard's turns.
Okay, so now I think we're done with garbage.
I think we are. I had something that I wanted to bring up. Have you guys seen these ads? Let me just say, in terms of voting with this election coming up, I would say that I was leaning more towards liberal to vote. I'm open about that, but that changes every time I see one of those Justin Trudeau ads talking about, everybody says I'm too young. And I see it, and no matter how liberal I am on a good day, when I see those ads, I just think, shut up,
But
Justin.
what about those ads that bothers you? I think Justin Trudeau, he's a good guy. He's nicer hair than Stephen Harper. He needs some new blood in there, and he seems like a good guy.
Yeah, I like him as a person. I think he stresses so much. Well, I think it's not his fault. I think people have made such a big deal over his age and thinking it's
The
such a
only
big
valid
problem.
argument that the other parties are making is because he's young.
Yeah.
But like that
It's
shouldn't
not-
matter. There's no job out there,
yeah.
even premier of a province, that prepares you for being a prime minister. They're always
Exactly.
saying he doesn't have the credentials. There are no credentials.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can prepare you for running a country.
Yeah, what did Stephen Harper do that made him so well prepared to
He was
ruin
the
our
premier of
country?
Alberta and all that, and he's been
To-
a high businessman. He has a degree. He has a
And that prepared him to ruin our
master's
country,
in
though?
economics and all that, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
Justin Trudeau, to me, like when I watch those commercials, he seems like a pedophile trapped in like a 40-year-old's body. Or, like, how old is he? Like 35?
He's like 30.
How do you
Like-
think he's mid 40s? He's a
Oh,
school
really?
teacher. Yeah.
Trudeau? I thought he was 30.
No,
or
he's
something.
mid 40s.
Oh, he's
Okay.
a good-looking
How does he?
40-year-old.
How does? Well, that's what you see all
'Cause
those
he's got-
ads.
he's
He's trying to
got
be
this,
like
like-
his dad. You see when he was out there, he did the mountain hike. He did it in like a record time. He went for a fucking paddle before the Globe and Mail debate. He paddled down the freaking river down there. Thinks he's his
Yeah,
dad.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. But he just looks at you with this like glazed over look on his face with his perfect
Well, that's because he's
hair.
stoned. He is pro marijuana. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
well,
true.
okay.
Shout out to
well,
Angry Tom bringing that up in the Globe and Mail debate.
maybe that's it.
I actually, just on that note, Tom O'Care, do you think he could have shaved before before the campaign? Like I
I
get
don't think
he's
so.
a salt of the earth guy. And
He seems
he's
like-
a man. He's a man's man, and he's the typical.
But when you
average
look at
Joe
his head
kind
of hair,
guy.
would you be able to take him seriously if he shaved? He would look like an angry baby.
I just think, like, what was the last time you saw a bearded politician? Like, it's not common. They usually
Like, you
try
gotta
to
go-
present like a clean shaven.
You
like,
got to go back
professional
far.
look.
You got to go back like black and white photos of like.
Shout out to
Abe Lincoln.
Sir John A. McDonald.
I think Abe Lincoln was the last.
he was
one
the
with
last
facial hair.
one.
Yeah.
Well, how much facial hair are we talking here? 'Cause,
I don't know. Mulcair's got his
Hitler.
face is covered.
Hitler
It's
sort of
clean
really
shaved
pitched
though.
that for a
It's
while.
clean shaved.
It's trimmed, but
It's salt and
it's
pepper.
furry.
To be honest though, I think
It's furry.
It looks
Yeah.
good.
Good example.
Furry.
What else is hair? Like, let's be serious here.
Well, it could be like rough. Could
I
be
think
coarse.
I like the
Yeah.
beard on him. Like without it, I
No,
wouldn't
no,
be able to take him
absolutely.
serious.
I don't think he looks bad with it. I was surprised.
No homo.
when I was
I'd suck a dick, no homo.
I'm not gay, but I'd suck a dick.
pretty. I think there's lots of homo going on here.
Hey.
Not that there's a problem.
No,
Not
that
that there's a
anything.
problem.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I meant it in a good way, actually.
Yeah,
Um,
compliment.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying Mulcair looks
Scared.
bad by any means. I was surprised to see a politician coming at trying to run for prime minister, and
I think it's all part of his whole approach. He's the grandpa. He's a father. That's the. He
He's a-
keeps-
yeah, he's a
every debate,
typical
everything
guy,
he keeps
like-
saying he's a family man. I think it really shows. He's down there. He's got the salt and pepper beard. He's just down to earth guy. He's trying to. I think he relate to more people.
Stephen Harper looks like some
He's
alien
got it.
creature.
Speaking
now.
of pedophiles, look at Stephen Harper. Every time I've seen him, he's just like, you want to touch my son.
He-
I don't. That's what I'm
Hey,
getting from him.
I know a guy that.
This isn't libel. Well, he won't hear it anyways.
I know a guy that goes to Queens with his son. His
Wow.
son's a real prick.
Not surprised there. Apple doesn't fall far from
No.
the tree.
Did you guys ever see the video? I don't even know where I saw this online, but it was Stephen Harper had some event and he was playing keyboard and he had a backing band. And, no, I swear to God, he played "Sweet Child of Mine" by
No.
Guns N' Roses, singing and playing keyboard.
That's
You can't
hilarious.
pick a worse band.
That's
to play.
funny,
I
man.
think you guys should go look it up. Anybody listening, go look this up
Try to
right
pull
now
it up.
online.
Try and pull it up right now. We'll try
It's
and play it.
no,
yeah.
I don't want to play right now. But just check it
Anyways.
out if you get a chance. It is
picture-
the weirdest thing you'll ever see.
I'm picturing Stephen Harper with like a sequin like outfit.
He definitely
on,
has
like,
a vest on.
like
chest
a
hair out.
long ass like white wig. He looks like Edgar Winter kind of. Just
He's,
like
he's trying to be Axel, and he's probably as big a douchebag as Axel is too. So he's nailed it.
It was definitely a weird. It was like a surreal thing seeing our prime minister, like the leader of our country, is hanging out jamming.
That's kind of what I like about Barack Obama in the States.
Yeah.
Because like you see things on his Twitter, and he's like out in the woods, like hiking with his kids, or like.
I was super happy to see him get his own Twitter account, like a real one that's him directly, because it's like he's a very personable guy, and he's really funny.
He's a great guy.
Do you think he's going to give that to whoever becomes president next?
The Twitter account? No, I think he'll keep it because it's his Twitter account.
Yeah, President of the United States.
I believe that he actually has another Twitter account. I believe that the President of the United States one will be handed to the next in line, or just retired in general.
Do you think any other president, well, like people running right now, do you think they would use that?
Let's be serious.
In the same way that he does. At
Trump
least?
is a Twitter master.
Trump is a Twitter master. Yeah, you're right about that. But I think he would keep his own. He would refuse to use the POTUS one.
He would just in his bio, he just say, "I'm the president."
Yeah.
I refuse to use Twitter.
He's a loser.
Just tell him a Mexican created it, and he's done.
Yeah.
He's done.
There's too much Twitter in China.
I think the only thing that I could say positive about Donald Trump, or that I remotely agree with, is
nothing.
He did make a comment once that he thinks if he was elected, he would be the guy that could get along with the people nobody else does. He does make kind of a good point.
He is part of the 1%. He's the one. Yeah. He's the 1% of the 1%.
Exactly.
They don't have any friends.
But even in other cultures, like he said, him and Putin, he thinks would be friendly. And I laughed when I heard that. I was like, that's the scariest thing I can think of. Like Putin
They're
and
both
Trump
unstable and more power than they should be. Trump now he's not even he's just a business owner, and he's still got a crazy amount of power.
That's true. Yeah. Well, especially in the States, it's such a capitalist thing that like anybody with that much money immediately is like a powerful.
That's a problem with the world in general. Don't get me started. It's capitalism as a whole. It's
right.
not sustainable. It can't be upheld without destroying.
That's what bothers
nation.
me. Somebody called.
What are you doing there, Mick?
I'm just taking a video.
Oh, okay. Just while we're on the topic still, I can't remember which candidate it was. It was one of the Republicans that's trying to run right now in the States, and somebody called him a socialist as an insult, and he just straight up didn't take it like an insult.
Is that Bernie Sanders?
No, I don't think so.
Besides Hillary, Bernie Sanders is the only one who in my mind could be the president.
If I was in the United States,
Hillary or Bernie.
If I was a American citizen and in a position to vote, Bernie Sanders would have my vote.
I just don't know enough about it to make a.
He looks like a human version of a Muppet character.
Again, not a bad thing.
I would vote for Kermit.
Like if Animal ran for
why would you want to vote
president?
for Kermit? He's banging Miss Piggy.
No, they broke up. You didn't hear about that? Kermit and Miss Piggy.
Dude.
Yeah, they got a divorce.
What the hell?
They're going through counseling right now. No, honestly,
like it's a real
That's a
thing.
real thing.
Who's he feeding his dick to now?
I don't know. I think Animal, man.
Oh man.
I don't know. Fozzie and him were always really good friends.
I always thought Miss Piggy was a bit of a whore anyway.
Well, she is.
Yeah,
look at
she
that.
was so controlling.
It's a kid's character. Look at that cleavage. She's trying to put it out there, and just her mouth.
She was always so.
You think she's
demanding.
a diddler? You think she's into diddling kids with her tits?
I don't know about kids.
Where did this conversation go? What are you guys?
I like to bring in a good pedophile joke and bring kids into things as much as anyone, but I don't see what has to do with anything here.
Hey, speaking about bringing kids into things, you have a crosswalk story, a crossing guard story?
Yeah, I forgot to get that there. You had a. we promised not to do it too early because we didn't want you to get all mad. But
yeah, we don't want to get you fired up at the beginning of the show. But
do you want me to explain a little bit before we get your side of it?
Go for it. I'm already stumped. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm just so freaking angry.
So Eric came to us earlier this morning and he told us about
son of a bitch.
This. He was trying to pull out of his parking his driveway or his parking
at
slot,
my apartment.
whatever it
Through
was.
the parking lot.
The apartment parking lot and. I guess to turn left out of the parking lot, there was a crosswalk there, and right when he needed to get out to get where he was going, the crossing guard decided to stop traffic, and apparently only took like one or two kids at a time. So on every green light, only like 2 or 3 cars would get through because this crossing guard was just not being efficient in Eric's words.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure his family loves him, lots of friends and all that. But like, what's your issue, man? Like, what's your serious? I'm trying to get here. People have places to go.
That was what you said earlier. You said like, why can't he just take all of them? Like,
yeah,
why can't he just take
do
all
your
of them
job?
once?
Yeah,
maybe he's getting paid by the hour, like construction guys.
Man.
Like, you know how construction guys will take their time because they want to get the day.
Yeah.
They want to spread it out.
He
Maybe
was
this
he was
guy-
definitely the guy that holds the signs that says drive slow. He was definitely that guy.
Do you ever think? Do you think like if a kid was late for school and he tried to blame the crossing guard, do you think that would go over well? Like,
No, that's like your dog eating your homework. It's just as lame as an excuse.
yeah.
If anything, like if you say anything about the crossing guard at school, is immediately going to court and he's a molester. Like, let's be serious.
Your
I
mind
was late
always
to-
jumps to that.
So hold on.
It's because
Can a crossing
Mick did it.
like can a crossing guard not like rob a
No, but let's
convenience
be
store
serious.
or
He's
anything?
like,
Like any crime he does is always
Okay.
gonna be like
Hear me out here.
gross.
Hear me out.
Okay.
You're walking to school and all that. You go to tell your teacher, "Yeah, I was late." "Oh, why were you late?" "Oh, the crossing guard made me late." What? How else can he make you late? What's going on there?
Literally, his job is to hold up traffic and not let you cross. Like my first thought
how
is,
do you just
isn't that he molested a kid?
How does he make you late
It's
to
that-
school
Because if
unless
he
they're
wouldn't
doing
let you cross.
extracurricular activities?
He must have had his dick out.
Let me let me ask you this: when
It is
you
a
were,
Monday.
When you were kids, did you guys have crossing guards when
No.
you were actually like going to school and
I
everything?
was a crossing guard.
Weird.
That explain. This is why all my assumptions are correct. He would definitely have his dick out.
Just because you know
Sure.
Mick, just because Mick does
Hey.
that doesn't mean all crossing guards.
Hey, when it's in like the summer months and you're getting a little bit of sweat action between the knees, you gotta
Tell me
let things
about
air out a little bit. I mean,
well,
you don't
okay.
do it when there's kids crossing. Christ, you do it when you're by yourself. You got to get
that's like
the Johnny out.
that's like you guys see Horrible Bosses? The
Oh,
first one?
great movie.
course.
When Charlie he urinated in a park and somebody caught him, so he's not allowed within like 50 feet of park.
Because of that scene,
Was
I have
because
been
of that,
paranoid
but,
to
like,
pee in parks.
There
Was that-
there was not actually any kids around. He just happened to pee in a park. And
Was that his name in the movie too?
I think so. I think yeah, his real name is Charlie Day, the
Yeah,
actor.
because
But
like in Always Sunny, you ever watch Always Sunny in
Yeah, yeah.
Philadelphia? His name is Charlie on that show. Also.
yeah, he's the Charlie Sheen of of the modern generation. He's just can't remember his character's name, so they just named
Yeah, they
his
just-
name.
and ironically, still Charlie.
yeah.
Maybe that's the thing with Charlies. Maybe they're genetically a
They
little
just
bit
like to be
different.
known and by.
Maybe it's
Charlie.
just like when you're a Charlie, it's because you're definitely a Charlie. No,
Here's-
any
okay.
other name would be
You're not a
unnatural.
Wes.
Yeah,
You're a
nobody's
Charlie. Damn it,
Nobody's a Wes.
kids, you don't want to be a Wes or a Mick or an Eric for that matter. Look what we're doing. Like right now, you don't want to be us.
yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty much at the rock bottom right now.
Yeah.
We're making fun of like good citizens, garbage men, and crossing guards. Like,
That's
people
true.
Who,
Yeah, people who do good things, and then there's us just judging them for no reason at all.
But yeah, getting to the crossing guard. I'm trying. Normally, it's not an issue trying to turn left out of my parking lot. It's really simple. I can get in line to turn and all that. I might catch the light and have to wait, but that's no big deal. At least I can get in like line for it. But today, with them taking the kids and all that, on my street, all the way, it was completely backed up. You can even see around the corner. Cars were trying to get in this left-hand lane. There's no chance for me to get in. I couldn't take it anymore.
Is there like a elementary school or something by your house? Why do you have a crossing guard?
Yeah, when down the street and bit up the hill, there's a St. Tim's Catholic school.
Down the
You
street,
probably-
up the hill, around the corner.
You
Hey,
probably
Catholic
have
school, kids getting touched. Coincidence?
Oh man.
you probably have somebody on your street that like knows the mayor or something and like
Yeah, demanded a crossing
some
guard.
yeah
come in.
some bitchy mom who's
That's
like
the thing. Honestly, until today, can't recall seeing one in the morning there too.
Maybe today was the first day. That's why they didn't know how to do it very well. It was-
Amateurs.
that exact situation happened in my neighborhood a couple years back. I live in Barrie, as you know.
Yeah.
And the mayor actually has a house in not on my street, but a couple blocks over.
Yeah.
So there was like a whole bunch of parents that got together in my neighborhood because there's an elementary school just a block over also, and they demanded that a speed bump get put in
Oh,
on
I
one of these
hate
little
that.
side roads.
In Kitchener here too, it's bad.
That's the
About
worst.
3 years ago, they started putting them everywhere near school. It's ridiculous.
And it's like those little like the temporary rubber ones that they put in that they
Oh,
just
that's the
bolt in.
worst.
oh yeah, at least
Those
at least they're
ones-
only temporary.
Though yeah, I
But
think they
they're
took
the
them out
hardest
now.
ones. They're always the worst ones to drive
So
over.
by my
though.
grandparents,
You have to go quick over them. Like,
Yeah.
and if in order for you to not fuck up your suspension in your car and not scrape the bottom, you
Yeah.
have to gun it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're just.
That was
you're
that
gonna
was
get
actually
stuck.
the weird thing with moving to Guelph. I'm pretty new to Guelph last year.
He's
actually.
from the Barrie area also.
Yeah, I'm originally also from
I'm
the
the
Bay Area.
outcast, the local.
Yeah, but yeah, moving to Guelph, there's these random streets here and there that are one-way streets, and that's weird enough because I'm not used to one-way streets. But then what's worse is that they have these speed bumps, but they're like a meter long, like wide. I mean, so they're these giant speed bumps. that
Oh,
you're
the
supposed
big
to slow down.
platform
The really big ones. Yeah,
Those
so
look
that
like
you
a square.
pretty much like
Yeah.
they're so wide that you're front tires, like I have a small car too, so my front tires are just coming over it when my back tires are still like behind it. like I'm always worried that it's gonna come up underneath the
That's
car.
Guelph for you though. It's that town's planning is a mess.
There's
Same with Godrich.
there's a lot of weird in Guelph. There's a lot of weird like five-way intersections and stuff, like these weird things that I've never encountered before.
There's one of those in Barrie, and when I first started driving, I ended up turning left onto a one-way road. Cars were coming at me, and it was
Carol's worst driver right there.
Way, not anymore.
It's hard though. Like, the amount of times that another thing. It's simple, but there's a lot of intersections that have signs saying you can't turn right on the red. You have to wait for the turning right green light to come up. And I'm not used to that. I'm from a small town originally, so we never had anything like that. So coming here, like I know you're supposed to be aware.
They have those in Guelph.
Yeah,
I wasn't aware of that.
You're supposed to be aware of all the signs around you, obviously, and you do your best. But like when you're just not used to it, and I didn't even know that it really kind of was a thing. And then I've been turning right at this red light for 6 months before I finally have a passenger who's also from the area who sees me doing this, and they're like, whoa, like you can't do that, man. And I'm like, oh, like what are you talking about? Like it's clear there's nobody coming. I'm not doing anything unsafe.
The only thing that matters is there's no red light camera there.
Well, if there was, I would be getting a lot of tickets because I was doing it for a while.
There's one of those sort of like close to my house in Barrie, and there's a train track at the lights. And then there's like a bit of a forested area to the left, so you can't really see oncoming traffic. So I guess that's why you can't turn right. But I know I've seen like a lot of accidents happen there because people are turning right. So so better watch out for that. You don't want to.
Well, I'm aware now. My eyes are open.
You might want to not.
Knowledge is power.
Go right.
Yeah. The other weird thing, just you mentioned train tracks, is coming to Guelph and in the Kitchener-Waterloo area, there are a lot less train tracks than back in a small town where I'm from.
Really?
So yeah, back in the small town, we had Honda plant and all that. So there's trains everywhere.
Those trains are loud as hell.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll stop and you get stuck behind a train for like an hour.
And
sometimes.
it's 24/7.
Yeah, there's
shit
constantly
coming in, shit going out.
Yeah,
I don't feel bad for you guys. That sounds awful.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
I live 40 minutes away from there, so I didn't.
I actually lived in Alliston, the town where Honda was. So the amount of times that the train would make us late for class, like that was a legitimate excuse. Like the crossing guard thing is kind of a joke, but the trains, like teachers just took it at face value. They didn't even question whether you were telling the truth or not. But coming here, people see a train go by and they're like amazed because it's like they see a train once in a blue moon.
That is true. A lot of the tracks aren't active. There aren't many trains here anymore.
Yeah, and even the ones that are active, they only have a train once a week or something like that.
It's
like
not often.
or it's at night when there's nobody
great.
around. Yeah. Yeah, at least you don't get held up. But
I had a semi-close encounter with the train just this weekend. Actually, I went. My buddy, one of my roommates, he just turned 19. So I drove
happy birthday!
I drove him
It's a big one.
I drove him to Kitchener. There's a tobacco shop there. It claims to be the oldest tobacco shop in Canada, which I think could be bullshit, but whatever.
Bravo for them.
So we go there, get a cigar. We're on our way back, and because all of the construction on King Street, we can't just do a straight shot back to Waterloo. You got to do all kinds of ins and outs, whatever.
Yeah.
So we find these back roads, and eventually we get cutting through a residential area, or what I think looks like a residential area. And I'm just driving along. There's a couple stop signs. I go. There's like a four-way intersection, but nobody has to stop, so I think I have to yield, whatever. I go through, and I'm over some tracks. So I'm like, that's interesting. They must not be in service anymore. My buddy, passenger, he's in the right. He looks right beside the car. And there's a train coming down the tracks, like probably as far as I am to that studio there.
So
maybe
that's probably like 6 feet or so for those of you that can't see.
Maybe like 10 feet.
10 feet.
Okay, 10
Now
feet.
it wasn't going quick because it was coming in town, but still,
trains don't go slow.
there was no lights.
Close
there was
enough
no
that-
warning that there was a train track ahead.
Wow.
There was nothing. If I would have got to that intersection like 12, 15 seconds later, I would have made contact with that train.
That's why
But
you're
like you
supposed
would
to
have
look.
seen the train by then. If you were that much later, if you were 12, 15 seconds later, it would have been through the intersection. Like you would have seen it in front of you.
Maybe.
Like I think you got
Always
it right.
look both ways, kids. And even if you think they're not active tracks, always look both
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah,
no
that's
kidding,
That's
man.
the PSA for today. Is
No kidding.
always look at the train tracks because you never know. Like some of those, and I feel like if train tracks do get Do you guys know if something gets out of service, like train tracks like that, do they ever bring them back? Like, do you ever have to
Sure.
worry that they're? So how do we know? Is that something we're supposed to like
You're just
go
supposed
look up
to-
online?
There'd be some
Every
sort of
week,
announcement. They'd probably
Every
declare
Sunday,
it
you're supposed to tune in on TV to your
Sunday,
local city
Sunday,
council
Sunday.
meetings, and you're supposed to watch all 4 or 5 hours of that city council meeting.
just to see which train tracks are
Yep,
reestablished.
yep.
Wow.
That's what you're supposed to do, Wes. That's how you become an informed citizen of the
Yeah.
greater Tri-City area here that we live in.
That's true. So we are coming up on our half-hour mark, so we're gonna gently conclude today's podcast with.
Pull out gently.
Don't respect all your crossing guards. They're just doing their job. They have families that love them.
Don't jump down garbage chutes.
Yes,
at
don't.
all.
Well, unless
Don't.
it's 4th floor down, but
Yeah.
go down feet first,
If
guys.
you are on the 4th floor,
I
it is
still don't
safe
see- I
to
still don't
jump
recommend
down a garbage chute.
I still don't recommend it.
Yeah,
If anything happens, we're not liable.
pretty much. And yeah, always look both ways at the trains. So
And garbage
this
people are nice people.
this
sometimes.
was the
Fuck 'em all.
Pirate
Fuck all garbage people.
Podcast. We'll see you next week.